¿Me escuchan? Sí, ¿verdad? Me dijeron que este está mejor que el otro micrófono. A ver. Creo que están todos de regreso, listos para comer. Gracias a la guagua por traer catering. Natalie está aquí. Natalie, ¿nos quieres decir el menú, por favor? Can you tell us the menu? What if we have? Thank you. Yeah, just tell us a little bit about the one.
Hello, everybody. My name is Natalia, and I represent La Guagua. It's a new Latin American restaurant here in Solano County. We opened our first location in Susun City 2 years ago, and we just opened our second location here in Vacaville 5 months ago. So it's a bakery, a coffee shop, and a restaurant. We serve food from Central and South and the Caribbean countries of Latin American food. So for today we have ropa vieja. It's a shredded beef based on tomato sauce. It's a very typical dish from Cuba. We also have rice with vegetables, salad, and sweet plantains. Yeah. And, sorry, thank you. We also have some agua frescas. Everything is homemade. We have guava, and I believe it's tamarindo. And we also have our baked goods, also again homemade, puff pastry filled with guava, and then we also have alfajores from Peru. Thank you.
Gracias. Yeah. So I know you're eating, but if you have two things I'm going to ask you. One of them is going to be, there's some Post-it notes on your table. And if you're willing to share with us, just put, what was the biggest barrier you had in regards to education? Or if you're in college right now, what is the biggest barrier you're experiencing? You know, if it's financial, it's transportation, what is el barrier? ¿Cuál es el barrier? And then, your age. I know it's just important to put the number and just leave them there or give it to me. It's just a way for me to collect data on our attendance and see what else is out there that I can do to help our community. So I really appreciate that. The other thing, we do have 2 birthdays today, and I do just want to acknowledge it. Refugio, Señor Refugio, where is? Feliz cumpleaños. Let's say happy birthday to Refugio. Thank you for being here. And then I also want to say, can you guys say Feliz cumpleaños? It's my daddy's birthday, and he's having a party. I'll be there later. Say happy birthday, gracias. So, okay, with that note, now we have another performance while you have your lunch, and it's Son de Metzel, Group Folclórico. ¿Dónde está? Are Karina is there? Okay. That's fine. Oh, careful, it's okay. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gabriela, and we are a part of Son de Metzli, Grupo Folclórico, and we will be performing, I believe, 2 states. First Michoacán, and then we will be ending with Sinaloa Costa. Thank you.
Thanks.
Saito del estado de Michoacán. Las Sigüiris.
Okay, so now we are. Está, sí se escucha, ¿verdad? Okay, so we have another speaker before we move on to our panel speakers, and I would like to introduce to you Dr. Edgar Lampkin. And I met Dr. Edgar through Travis Credit Union, where they brought community leaders together to talk about Hispanics. And ahí los conocimos, I don't know, like 10 years ago, I don't know. Here we are again. So I'm going to allow you to introduce yourself. Come.
Muchas gracias, Marisela. Antes que nada, un gran reconocimiento a Marisela y su equipo por organizar este evento. Un aplauso. Muchísimas gracias. We need to have more events like this, and we need to grow it. There's a huge need to do this in Northern California. As all of you are hearing, my name is Edgar Lampkin, and the first thing that happens is people say, Lampkin? You don't look like no Lampkin. Well, it's true, I don't. I was born in Mexico City, and as you can see, I came here just like all of you, con nada, right? And as I grew up, unfortunately, I'm the result of a family that got divorced. My parents divorced when I was 5 years old. And my life was pretty tough when that happened. Literally, my mom and I were living in the outskirts of Mexico City. I don't know if you've heard of Casas de Cartón, but that was pretty much my life. At the age of 5, I ended up with my grandparents. My mom took off and came to the United States. She came to the United States because her brother was a foreman in Northern California, Colusa County, worked in agriculture. And he told her, vente pa acá, aquí haces una nueva vida. And so she did. She came, worked in agriculture, and it was there that she met Leon Lampkin. He was driving the harvesters and was a mechanic at the ranch. And while she was out there picking the squash, the cucumbers, then she ended up, they ended up dating, they connected, they got married, and he told her, get your kids, bring them over here, we'll raise them. Leon Lampkin was half African American, half Jamaican. Incredible story. Wonderful dad, and that's why I have Lampkin, because I carry that name in his honor. Thanks to him, I am where I'm at. But yeah, I came here when I was 8.5 years old. And yes, I got here on a Saturday, and on a Sunday, ahí andaba llenando los botes de pepinos, de calabaza, levantando las sandías, and my mom pouring the buckets in there to, get the seed from the stuff. And went to school, and school was quite interesting, all the way up until I got here in the middle of 3rd grade, and then ended up going back to Mexico in the middle of 5th grade. So why I share that with you is because obviously working and bilingual education is so important. How many of you are bilingual? ¿Cuántos de ustedes son bilingües? Okay. Es importante no nada más 2 idiomas. Si queremos ser competentes globalmente, por lo mínimo 4 idiomas son los que tenemos que hablar. Mínimo, okay? ¿Cuántos de ustedes han ido a Europa? How many of you have been to Europe? Okay. How many languages do people speak over there? Minimum 4, right? Most of them 6 to 8 languages, right? And so I was very fortunate to have gotten a de facto bilingual education. What does that mean? That means that I got my basics in kinder, 1st, 2nd, and half a 3rd in Mexico, and then came here to the US without a single word in English, was an English learner, a migrant student, and did half a third, fourth, and half a fifth grade. Went back to Mexico, did half a fifth grade. That was tough because the expectations are very different academically from the US to Mexico. And so the rigor in Mexico was super hard, but I was able to accomplish it, fifth grade, and then sixth grade. I finished elementary school over there. And so I share that with you because one of the things, I just attended a culture workshop, and the young lady was talking about how important it was for her to connect culturally. As she's gone through the educational system, she's studying to be a veterinarian, and the challenges that she's had, just realizing that she's the only one sometimes in her class, and not having that connection with culture. The beautiful thing about it is that she's reconnected and she is tied to her culture. And one of the things that she mentioned was, don't forget familia. And today, she's there in that booth with her father helping her get set up in the booth and everything, which is pretty cool. So kudos to, raise your hand. She's out there. She also did a workshop and she's super embarrassed and she talks about being sheltered, but you know what? She took a risk, so let's give her a round of applause. Great job. But that's the biggest challenge that many of our students face, is understanding who you are. And you know what? Feeling like you don't belong, feeling like you're disconnected, feeling like, who am I and why am I here? And I always wondered why, of the 9 friends that I had that were immigrant students like me, did not graduate from high school. I was the only one that made it. And I always wondered why, what is it that caused for them not to make it? Because they were just as smart as I was. They had just as much potential, and maybe even more. But what was it that happened? And some of them came here when they were little, learned Spanish at home, and then landed in the school learning English as English learners, because Spanish was the only language spoken at home. Some came at different levels of their education from Mexico, but I think I was the one that had the most solid foundation. I'm currently the CEO for California Association for Bilingual Education, and we provide support statewide to help build capacity with our parents to understand how the system works and what they can do to become a part of the system, not apart from the system, to learn how the education of their children needs to be guided and supported as partners in their children's education, okay? And we do have a table over there with lots of valuable information for you to be able to share, for you to take back to the school and say, hey, podemos tener este tipo de taller, por favor, para que podamos entender cómo podemos ser partícipes en la educación de nuestros hijos. Tenemos ahí atrás también a Laura. Laura, por favor, ¿tú puedes parar? Un gran aplauso para Laura. Es una increíble persona que da talleres a los padres y ayuda a capacitar a los padres, no nada más a nivel de entender y de ser partícipes, pero también tenemos a padres que se convierten en padres que entrenan a otros padres. Y eso es lo importante, ¿verdad? Porque a veces pensamos, pues es una persona, no sé si yo pueda llegar a presentar como ella. No, ustedes pueden. Es más, ustedes son una mejor modelo para poder apoyar a los demás padres. ¿Por qué? Porque ustedes están ahí, ¿verdad? En las trancas de lo que está pasando para poder apoyar a sus hijos. Entonces, es lo que Laura hace, capacita a los padres para que ellos puedan seguir creciendo, ¿verdad? La capacitación de los padres para que puedan ser partícipes en la educación de sus hijos. ¿Por qué? Porque la educación bilingüe es de suma importancia. Todavía tenemos los efectos de la ley 227, donde, ¿cuántos de ustedes se acuerdan que inglés es el lenguaje oficial? English is the official language. UNS 227, that had a tremendous impact in our community, particularly in Northern California. In Southern California, hay tantos mexicanos que batallamos contra eso y no dejamos que se deshicieran los programas bilingües en muchos lugares. Y la doctora Bárbara Flores es una de las que batalló en su distrito para asegurar de que no quitaran los programas bilingües. Y es por eso que su distrito, ¿verdad?, ha crecido y ha tenido bastante éxito en no nada más estudiantes habla hispanos, pero también estudiantes afroamericanos, anglosajones, que son bilingües, que hablan los dos idiomas. Entonces, tenemos que crecer eso en el norte de California. Tenemos que entender que nuestros hijos pueden aprender no 2, 4 lenguajes, pero tienen que empezar con 2 sólidamente. Sí, cabe, ¿verdad? No nada más da capacitación a los maestros y a los padres, pero también nosotros abogamos por cambiar la ley en California para que podamos crecer los programas bilingües. Y para los que no saben, hace 5 años, ¿verdad?, CABE, junto con Californians Together, pasamos una ley que ahora los padres, porque antes si querían que sus hijos fueran partícipes en un programa bilingüe, tenían que firmar una forma dando permiso. Ahora es al revés. Ustedes pueden reunirse, 20 padres, pueden firmar, queremos un programa bilingüe y dárselo a la escuela, y por ley la escuela tiene que trabajar con ustedes para crear un programa bilingüe. Y mucha gente no sabe que ustedes como padres tienen ese derecho de poder crecer los programas bilingües. Y es la meta de CABE, queremos hacer eso. This is Leon Lampkin, my dad, and thanks to him, like I said, I've been able to have a better opportunity and a better life, and so I honor him. Obviously, that right there was my actual father, Rodolfo Vega. He was a truck driver and unfortunately also ended up dying in a horrible accident. So he's not with me, and my dad just recently passed from Alzheimer's, which is a horrible disease. For those of you that don't know about Alzheimer's, come talk to me. I'll share with you because it's important to know what you need to do to help your parents get through that process of Alzheimer's. It's ugly and it can tear a family apart. That's my mom, and those are my nephews. And that's me, of course. What I want to highlight about myself, I have 5 sisters. I'm the only boy, I'm the oldest one. And you know, in most of our families, when we work in agriculture, the oldest one is the one that takes care of the kids. I was the one that got up, made breakfast for my kids, because my parents were off working in the fields. And so I would stay behind, clean the house, feed them, get them ready, take them, put them on the bus, send them to school, bring them back, pick them up, and then have everything ready so that when my mom came, she could make dinner. This is I think soccer was what helped me tremendously, and all the arrows you see are all my friends that were English learners or long-term English learners. I don't know if you've heard of that term, but some students end up getting stuck and they never are able to go beyond really mastering English with proficiency at grade level. And that's a huge challenge, and that's another big thing that we need to talk about and we need to be able to advocate for, is making sure that we are addressing the needs of all of our students. That's the reason why my friends were not able to graduate from high school, is because they were not able to develop that level of fluency at grade level. That's me graduating from high school. I don't know if you remember, but there wasn't anyone that we could see out there that looked like us, right? And so obviously I kind of looked like Tony Orlando because that's who I wanted to be. And And thanks to this program, California Mini Corps, I was able to learn that I had a talent to work with kids, that I could help make a difference by educating and working with students. I was bilingual. I worked with migrant students, serving and helping students who were just like me, and it was incredible. It was very powerful. It built my confidence. It helped me in many different ways. These are my friends. I share with you that many of them did not graduate from high school. I need to share with you that my passion, when I went to college, I ended up pushing and working to bring my friends, brothers and sisters to come to college. And so to this day, all of my buddies from Colusa that we graduated, went to school, went through high school, went through college together. We still get together, 38 years, and we made a commitment every third weekend, no quinceañera, no weddings, and if you're gonna get married, your wife has to sign that it's okay for you to leave on that third weekend to get together with your buddies. Nothing wrong with that. Bilingual teacher, it's my wife. She also was a migrant student, came from a migrant background. Her parents worked in agriculture. She worked in agriculture. We both supported each other to get through education. And to this day, gracias a Dios, 38 años casados también y felices con 4 niños, ¿verdad? Es un reto tener hijos. I actually had twins. So kids 2 years apart, so 4 boys 2 years apart was quite challenging. That's my father-in-law's grave. We also make it a point to connect with Mexico and our roots. This is just an example of what I've been going through in my education. Educación es poder, educación nos da la oportunidad de tener éxito, ¿verdad? Pero también, como dijo Carlos, no necesariamente es una educación académica, porque también, ¿verdad? Como mi abuelito dijo, y muchas gracias al consejo que me dio, me dijo, mijo, si tú quieres tener éxito en la vida, hay que aprender de las 2 escuelas, de la escuela académica y de la escuela de la vida. Y esas 2 nos dan la avenida para poder llegar a tener éxito, ¿verdad? Yo he sido el primero que ha graduado de la high school, que ha agarrado un bachillerato, que ha agarrado una maestría, que ha agarrado un doctorado. Hablamos de la proposición 227 en ese tiempo. Yo era director de escuela y empecé un programa de educación bilingüe. Entrené 2 grupos de maestros a que agarraran también su credencial de directores. Y el éxito que tuve fue implementé el programa bilingüe, porque aquí están los estudios que cuando implementas un programa de doble inmersión es como llegan a tener éxito todos los estudiantes, pero más los estudiantes latinos. Y es un ejemplo de lo que se puede lograr. De esos maestros que entrené, ahora son directores de escuela, 5 de ellos en el mismo distrito escolar y con programas de educación bilingüe en el Valle de Salinas, ¿verdad? Entonces, querer es poder y hay que crecer los programas bilingües. ¿Por qué? Porque hay una gran necesidad. Y gracias a este evento hay que doblar la cantidad de gente que está aquí para poder crecer la educación para nuestros hijos. Y gracias, Marisela, por todo.
Ok, antes vamos a hacer un bailable mientras van a subir los siguientes paneles, pero si quieren comer más, pueden parar y agarrar otro platito. No hay, o postre, o lo que gusten, no hay pero, ¿ok? Ok.